suspect!
Coming to get you, Bobber.
Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. Halloween Ends is almost upon us, and I think this is probably going to be my last video about Halloween Ends before the movie comes out. Obviously I'm going to have lots of content after it comes out with the reviews, etc. But this is probably going to be the last video talking about the film before the release. Now, before I get into the topic at hand, I know there has been a few trailers out there that have been very spoilerific, and some of them have been official trailers. Like the NBC trailer gave away a lot. I did see it, but I won't comment on it because although it is official, some people on my channel or subscribers want to go into the movie as blind as possible, and I have dissected a lot of the trailers knowing that it's all speculation at this point, but the official trailer from NBC really does get into a lot of spoiler territory and confirms a lot of things as well that we've discussed on the channel. So that's why I'm not talking about that trailer, that's why I'm not breaking it down, and that's why I'm not dissecting it, because I know that I do say at the beginning of my videos there's going to be spoilers here, or potential spoilers. People who still don't want to know things sometimes still want to watch my video because I'm so handsome, but sometimes you just can't help yourself when a video's out there. So that's why I don't really want to discuss that specific trailer. So I know that you've been asking me about it, guys. I have seen it, I just don't really want to talk about it because the film's coming out in less than a week or so, or a week or so, so I don't really want to discuss that. But the topic for today is Michael Myers himself and the lack of wearing the mask potentially in Halloween Ends. Now, with all the trailers that we have saw, not including the NBC trailer, but with all the other trailers and TV spots that we've saw, the behind the scenes footage, images, all of that put together, how much is Michael going to be unmasked in Halloween Ends? Because we did get quite a bit of him unmasked in 2018 and in Halloween Kills, and for good reason. Not because we want to see his face, but for realistic story purposes. He can't be masked all the time, especially when he's incarcerated in a sanitarium. He can't be wearing a mask, so there are times he's not going to be wearing a mask. But when you look at Halloween Ends, there has to be times where he's not wearing the mask, if there is indeed a copycat killer or a copycat imposter, anything like that out there. And if there is only one mask and they're not mass produced in the film franchise, then there has to be times where someone takes his mask. There has to be times where he potentially gives someone the mask as well, so he will be unmasked. Yes, a lot of that will take place behind the camera and we won't see a lot of it, but with the David Gordon Green trilogy, knowing what we've seen so far, David Gordon Green is known to show Michael on screen in the background, blurred out, without the mask on. Now, I did do a couple of videos previously about what I want to see and what I don't want to see. One of the things I said I don't want to see was Michael's face, but because I don't want to see it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It could still happen, and I think I'm starting to believe that that will happen in the film. And I don't mean we're going to see him up front face to face with the camera and looking at us as the audience. I just think we might see more of his face out the shadows, out of the blurriness and into the frame, because Laurie Strode as a character, she's gone through over 40 years now. It's going to be 44 years now, and she needs, as a character, to develop and finalise her character. She needs to put this to bed, and going through the whole 44 years not seeing his face up front, up close, is not going to happen. And we've seen it in the trailer where she takes someone's mask off. It could be Michael. She takes a mask off to look the person in the eye, and she hasn't been able to do that fully in her journey as Laurie Strode. So it has to come to a point where if we want closure, and if she wants closure, and if Jamie Lee Curtis wants closure in this character, one way to close it out is to have them come face to face, not mask to face, but face to face with each other to be able to close that chapter. I think for Laurie Strode, if she dies or if Michael dies and we don't have that face to face confrontation, it might be an opportunity wasted. Maybe not for us because we don't want to see his face, but an opportunity wasted for each of them as individuals, not being able to come face to face with each other, and then one of them dying or both of them dying. It has to come to that point, that satisfactory point, where whether it be satisfactory for us, I don't know, but for them just to look each other in the eye and for one of them to kill the other one and to be able to walk away from that going, I was able to look you in the eye and kill you. Whether that's coming from a Michael standpoint or a Laurie standpoint, it needs to happen. It needs to happen for these people to close that chapter. It needs to happen for them to close that book. And if we don't get that, that might be that chapter unsolved. And then if you look at future movies, if they ever do future reboots, etc., they might try and explore that, because they'll use that as an excuse. You might get some director going, but we never got that interaction between Laurie and Michael, what it would look like come face to face. We didn't get that, so let's explore that. Don't give them the option to do that. Explore it now, because if you don't, that's going to happen in the future. Close that chapter so that if they do make future movies featuring Laurie Strode or Michael Myers, then there's no point in them covering old ground, because we got to see that. And we've never got to see that in Halloween H2O. We never got to see it in Resurrection. We never got to see it in Halloween 2. We got a tiny bit of it in Halloween 1 in 1978 with Tony Moran's performance and his screen time, and that was it. So we never ever got that. And if you want to do something different, then do that in the film, but do it in a way where the audience is satisfied as well. So don't take the mask off and get Michael to go like this to the audience and look at us for a certain period of time. Take the mask off so that we know Laurie is looking at him unmasked and she knows exactly what she's dealing with, whether it be human or not. She knows exactly what, she knows exactly who she is about to kill or be killed by. So what are your thoughts on that, guys? Do you think we will see something like that, an unmasked face-to-face Laurie and Michael? Or do you think we should see that? Even if we don't, do you think we should see something like that in the finale, in the last movie in Halloween Ends? As always, guys, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.